thanks for staying with us. Customs continue to seize unregistered products from importers in the country. Also on customs reports, Kaduna FOU seized goods worth over 600 million naira. Plus, more report. I am Egiseme Itinye. Stay tuned. Of the State House correspondent on the working of the Nigerian Customs Service. He speaks on issues concerning customs achievements and the way forward.
Organization. We have what we call the World Customs Organization, which we all belong to. And under that umbrella, we operate virtually the same goods globally. We harmonize our system globally. So we need to get our officers to that level where their own capacity to be able to perform at the best practice globally is attained. And of course, we try to create balance and control through optimal technology deployment. Today, I make bold to say Nigerian Customs Service is one of, if not the best, in terms of technological development and processing. Our NICE 2, which we are very soon going to move into the trade modernization system, is the best. On that platform, we have, as of today, over 37 agencies that are key in there. And we believe that for us, that is the single window for Nigeria, because all trading partners key into that. They have access to it and they work on it. So we believe that that should be our single window as moving forward. But for today, that is our platform of operation. And everything we do in terms of import and export processing is automated. It's automated.
The Contract General speaks more on a number of issues
that we put in place, and then we now look at the structure. What do we need to do with the structure? Is what on the ground good enough for us to be able to execute optimally our mandate, or do we need to tinker with it? And I want to assure you that between me and the management of the Nigerian Customs Service, having looked at it holistically, we believe we need to unbundle some commands and units. Unbundling means we have to open up, create more commands in order to cover more areas, and then create more specialized commands to take care of specialized areas. And that we will see. Unbundling of commands units and creation of new commands to achieve strategic objectives. E.g., example, non-intrusive inspection area, that is the scanners. We need to have specialized people to manage the scanners. We also look at the marine, because that is a special. The gentleman sitting right behind you is a marine officer to the core. He grew up in that sector, and he is our expert when it comes to marine. So we have to boost that, because we are not only fighting smuggling along the land borders, we are also fighting smuggling along the creeks. We are also collaborating with Nigerian Navy to ensure that we monitor our high seas. As of today, we have seagoing boats that we use for patrols on the high sea. So the marine aspect is very, very important to us. And also, we have an air wing. I'm sure a lot of people do not know that Nigerian Customs Service has an air wing until we closed the border. That was when we maximally used our air platforms. At that time, as of today, we have one jet aircraft, Cessna, and then we have 2 Bell helicopters. Those are used for patrols and the monitoring of our border. We are in the process of acquiring additional aircraft hopefully if we get the approval from FEC, to buy one more additional operational aircraft. And that's to enhance our capability to be able to monitor our borders and effectively implement our mandate of anti-smuggling.
The Contract General also said that the service will continue to implement all rules in regards to training of officers all over the country.
All these things we build is towards making sure that at the end of the day we'll be able to collect the revenue that is collectible for Nigeria. And we cannot do that without putting those things in place. And today, I must say, we have been able to perfect some of our systems from being electronically viable to the capacity of our officers to be able to do the job in the best way possible, and also based on equipment. We came up with a multi-strategic approach to blocking revenue leakage. What used to happen is not that there was no import or export coming in and going out. It is that there are so many leakages. And the best you can do is to come up with a system to make sure that you block these leakages. And that's what we do. It's not that the volume of import or export has increased far more than it used to be. It is that we have been able to we have succeeded as a management to identify those leakages, and we are working assiduously to block them one after the other. And it is the speed at which we block this that will increase our revenue generation from time to time. And that's why we move from 876 billion in a year to today, as at the last collection, we are at 2 trillion 130 something billion. So we're working, hopefully we will meet the target of 3.019. We are pushing, but also there are factors that are also pushing back. There are some anticipations that we did. There are things that we factor into our collection that we hope that if they had taken place on time, like the carbonated drinks that was approved for us. We didn't get to start collection until about half part of the year. So we've lost the first part of the year, which that means whatever would have been collected would have been added to our realization of the target is not there. Also, the telecommunication tariff. If some of you, and Mr. President will now assent to that notification, and then we stop. So we are working now to make sure that we collect that money, but we're late. We're late. We're not sure we'll get much from it between now and December. So those factors may affect our revenue, but despite that, the men and women of Nigerian Customs are working very assiduously to make sure that we collect whatever is collectible.
It speaks further on customs revenue generation in all the states in the country.
We haven't covered the import-export. We have the excise and industrial incentives. That is the one that most advanced countries make their money from, because most countries are highly industrialized, and therefore they collect excise far more than what they collect on import and export. Because for them, they export more than they import. They only import raw materials. In our own case, we import more of finished product than raw materials. Even the export, we export less raw materials than we import finished goods. That, of course, that's what creates the trade imbalance between us and the advanced countries. And what we hope, and I always say this, that as the Controller General of Nigerian Customs Service, I'm looking forward to the day that we will be collecting more excise money, because then we now know that we are deploying our money inwards. We are spending our money within the country. Because for every duty, yes, we are happy, we collect import duty. but it then means that we are financing other industries outside Nigeria, because these goods are coming as finished goods, and we are spending our money to buy them. And that's why we're always running helter-skelter for foreign exchange. So it is our hope that gradually, with the industrial policies of Mr. President, things will begin will change, and then we will begin to have more industries paying excise than collecting import duty. So what we have done in that area is to ensure that we come up with electronic process of making sure that we collect. Now that we have started collecting the carbonated drinks tax, it has increased our take by almost 10.2% since the inception of that tariff. We're also looking forward to the full inclusion of the telecommunication tariff, which will also increase our revenue. We're also looking forward to having other goods that will now come into the tariff line, because a lot of us, one of the things that we do that is also inimical to what we collect is that we grant a lot of waivers. We are a nation that loves everybody. You find an industry coming in and say, well, we've given it tax-free period for about 10 years. And then after 10 years, he's now applying for another 10 years. If after 10 years you have not matured enough to be able to survive, then you should die. You should die. There's no reason why we should keep giving you our hard-earned money. The money belongs to 200+ million people, and then we give it as a waiver. And then you find companies under declaring their profit because they don't want to show that they are viable, and so they should pay tax. So we are working electronically and scientifically to be able to survey and get these companies and make sure that we bring them to the tax table, because most countries globally survive on tax. It's only in Nigeria that we're afraid of taxing ourselves.
You are watching the program Customs Report. The Customs Area Controller in Apapa has said that his command has surpassed the revenue target for 2022.
Area of revenue generation. In the period under review, the command has collected a revenue to the tune of 790 billion, 630 million, 406,980 naira.96 kobo. This shows an exponential improvement of 181.5 billion naira as against 609 billion naira collected in the corresponding months of January to September 2021, representing an increase of 29.8% increment. This remarkable achievement was made possible because of our officers' tireless commitment to ensure that all revenue leakages are being mitigated, as well as sustaining the level of compliance by the importer and stakeholders in the clearance value chain. And we are hopeful and optimistic that by the end of the year 2022, our revenue will rise to 1.1 trillion, inshallah. The anti-smuggling operation and smuggling activities have been one of the command focal point, especially with the activities of some unrepentant traders who are always looking for avenues to undermine our system. The command has fortified its forensic manifest management to monitor and detect fraudulent declarations through audit trail to ensure that illicit trade are being tracked before the declaration are lodged. Furthermore, the enforcement unit has been reinforced through improved collaboration and sharing of credible intelligence with relevant government agencies to suppress smuggling activities to the barest minimum. For the period under review, the command recorded 145 seizures of various items with a duty paid value of 12,496,672,122 naira. These seized items include unregistered medicaments such as tramadol and codeine, processed and unprocessed wood, used clothing, ladies and men footwears, fallen fiber rice, tomato paste, vegetable oil, and other sundry items that fall under import prohibition list. These importations are in clear contravention of Section 46 and 47 of Custom and Excise Management Act, CAF C45, Law of the Federation of Nigeria, 2004. At this point, let me re-emphasize that APAPA Command is continuously ready to assist in facilitating legitimate trade and ensuring that all forms of smuggling activities through false declaration on import and export done in defiance to extant trade guidelines will be detected through our layers of control mechanism. Finally, I want to crave the indulgence of our esteemed stakeholders to join hands with the command and ensure that items that are on import prohibition list are strictly adhered to, and urge them to embrace the emerging realities of custom examination through non-intrusive inspection regime. The non-intrusive inspection regime is geared toward increasing volume of cargo inspection, protection of national security, saving cost and clearing time, storing reliable data and image for references and statistical purpose.
The controller in charge of Western Marine Command, the Joint Customs Service, has seized drugs worth over 2 billion naira. He later handed over the drugs to NGLA officers in the command. The cannabis sativa was intercepted while on their way into Nigeria from Ghana along our waterways. He said that it is illegal to ship such contraband into Nigeria, and customs will continue to thwart the effort of unscrupulous importers.
Of intelligence-driven information management, we have an intensive surveillance on the water, and we have our men always on the water 24/7, and we have the logistics, so it's not surprising. We can do much more than this, given the opportunity. We can do much more than this. We have the able trained men and women who are willing to give in their best for their fatherland.
Handed over the drugs to NGLA official who said that the position of hard drugs is against government policy.
In drug enforcement and administration, everybody is a stakeholder, right from an individual. So let everybody contribute their quota, because drug is the oxygen for every crime, every heinous crime. Nobody uses their clear eyes to do the type of crime that are going on.
Keep engaging the communities and opinion leaders and the press and well-meaning Nigerians to continue to inform Nigerians on the danger of smuggling in general as an act of economic sabotage, because it is a very big crime that brings down a nation. What we're enjoying today, if we have economic saboteurs, we cannot enjoy the good roads, the hospitals, the schools, and even the security.
The command also seized PMS, 2 trailers of foreign rice and used clothing from importers operating along the waterfront. The Federal Operation in Zone B has again intercepted goods worth millions of naira from smugglers operating along the nation's borderline. It speaks more on a number of issues as it affects the clearance of goods at the border post. The Federal Operation in Zone B has seized various contraband worth over 690 million naira from smugglers. He also handed over 70 parcels of cannabis to NDL officials in the state.
Cannot mind whatever will happen. This is an Indian hemp, and where we got it is in an area where if this thing escapes us, it will reach to the wrong hand, and these guys will get high to commit any crime they wish to commit. We have, how many here? 70 parcels like this. So in view of this, since we have an agency here that can take care of this, We are officially handing over this to NDLE. Take to their office, continue investigation, and know how this thing comes in.
This is a seizure that will ensure everybody goes to his house and sleep. He just said now that once this thing gets into the end user, of course, the consequences will be better imagined than told.
Other seized items include cartons of unregistered products, PMS, and cartons of foreign female shoes.
Was able to make 132 seizures consisting of 17 items with a cumulative value of 690,821,657 naira 94 kobo. I want to believe the driving force behind the success we are recording today was as a result of working together. There is no doubt, and it is a fact, that smugglers are getting sophisticated day by day. But with coordinated effort by internal custom units and other security agencies, we are able to get them, and by God's grace, we will continue to work together to ensure these common criminals do not escape us. By the time we go down, you see the quantum of goods that were seized, ranging from 758 bales of sacks of foreign used clothing. We have 749 bags of foreign rice in 50 kg. We have 533 cartons of spaghetti, 473 cartons of pharmaceutical products without NAFDA registration. We have 245 pieces of used tires. We have 221 kegs, jerry cans of PMS. We have 116 cartons of foreign female shoes. We have 70 parcels of marijuana, popularly known as Indian hemp. We have 65 bags of foreign parboiled rice. This is in addition to the one we had up there. We have 59 jerry cans of vegetable oil in 5 liters. We have 10 jerry cans of vegetable oil, foreign vegetable oil in 25 liters. We also have 47 bags of fertilizer. We have 24 units of used vehicles. Out of these used vehicles, 4 are means of conveyance. The rest of 20 were those cars that were imported through unauthorized route, which is the border stations. We have 14 cartons of body cream. We have 12 cartons of foreign cigarettes, 30 sacks of foreign used shoes, and 2 sacks of foreign used handbags. You see, sometimes to a layman, these items are reeled out now. Some will ask question, why do custom disturb in arresting spaghetti? That is a food for everybody. I want to tell you here, Nigeria Customs Service is an agency responsible for translation of government fiscal policy into reality. And that is why we are getting this. Some of the fiscal policies forbid the importation of these items before they are produced here locally in Nigeria. I keep on telling you here, we have flour mill, we have Dangote, we have...
According to him, Nigerians should support the government on war against smuggling and deportation of fake drugs into the country. Just before I round up this week edition of the program Customs Report, we brought you a report where goods worth over 2 billion naira drugs intercepted by Western Marine Command in Lagos. For me, Igesema Etinye, thanks for watching.